All right, guys, we are less than 48 hours away from the start of the NFL season 2025, and the first game is on Thursday. It's going to be the Eagles versus the Cowboys. Probably going to be a stomping. Last two times that the Eagles and the Cowboys have matched up, it was just a total beatdown. So we'll see. The Cowboys defense has gotten worse since last year, losing Micah Parsons. But this should be, there's a lot of different ways this can go. I think the Eagles win regardless. But if we look at the over-under here, we got a 47.5 point over-under, only 8.5 point spread. In football, that means a lot more, but I would be kind of surprised if the Cowboys keep this within 8.5 points. But yeah, it could turn into a shootout. So I'll show you guys what I'm excited to get into. I just made a little 4-man here. Going with Saquon Barkley over 95.5 rushing yards. Ceedee Lamb over 6.5 receptions. Jake Elliott over 7.5 kicking points, and George Pickens over 55.5 receiving yards. This is just, to get the feet wet, first slip of the season. I'm going to break all this down, but I wanted to tell you guys, if you wanted to, we're getting everything rolling again, for the NFL season. I've been taking the summer off. And so I'm excited to get back after it and cover all of these slates. But I want to let you guys know ahead of time, up until September 10th, if you want to come join our community over at the Backdoor Fantasy Sports Discord, we're running 90% off right now for your first month. So all you have to do is use code BACKDOOR, and you sign up through Patreon, and then you throw in that code. You'll get 90% off your first month. If you want to come join our community, we have a lot of fun talking about the games. We put out slips every day. We've got other analysts that are in there as well, cover a lot of different sports, but I'm going to be focusing mostly on football until basketball starts, and I'll be running basketball as well. But if you want to come join us, we're running that special up until September 10th, so go lock that in over at Patreon. All the information's down below. And then while I'm here, if you guys want to sign up for Underdog, they're running a new special this year. If you use code JRUSSO over at Underdog when you're signing up, $5 play gets you $50 in bonus cash. So it's as simple as that. Information is also down below if you guys want to check that out. All right, let's start breaking down these plays. So Saquon here. This is kind of, do I need to really break this down? It's Saquon Barkley. We know the season he had last year, playing behind probably still the best offensive line. Arguably, I still think the Eagles have the best offensive line, but he went for 167 rushing yards in that last game. I told you guys it was a shellacking, 41-7. And then the game before that, 34-6. So I don't think it's going to be an 8.5 point game, personally. But yeah, the Cowboys have only gotten worse. So they were terrible against the run last year, and they're ranked 29th in rushing yards allowed. But I think that's based off of last year's statistics. I don't know for sure, but specifically to running backs, 16th. It doesn't matter. Saquon is going to have his way. If they go up by a decent amount, we may even see Will Shipley taking over in the fourth quarter if this game really gets out of hand. So keep that in mind, but I think he's good for at least 100 yards in this game. I think it's going to get out of control. It's really as simple as that. Cowboys defense is terrible. And we'll see. Sometimes teams surprise us, but they were really bad last year. Now they don't have Micah Parsons, so I don't think they're going to be able to stop Saquon in that O-line over in Philly. All right, so let's move on to Ceedee Lamb. So this is part of the reason I think the Cowboys are going to be playing from behind the whole time. And so they don't have a run game. We'll see. The season hasn't started yet, so maybe they'll surprise us. But you've got Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders and Jaden Blue, the rookie, and even Jaden Blue was kind of coming off of a little bit of an injury during training camp. So I don't think they're going to have much of a choice but to just be passing the ball if they want any sort of success in this game offensively. On top of that, I do think that they're going to be playing from behind. So I think they're going to be playing catch up, and they're going to be feeding Ceedee Lamb. And now Ceedee actually has legit wide receiver 2 to help take a little bit of the attention off of himself. So last two times that he matched up, he only went for 6. But still, he's right there. The line's at 6.5. It was only one of those games in 2020, the 2024 season. So I think he can get us one more than he did before, and I think they're going to have no choice. But they are playing in Philly, and I think that we might be in for a little bit of rain. I'll have to double check the weather, so keep an eye on that. But still, I just don't think that they have many options here other than to get the ball in their playmakers' hands. They don't have any playmakers in the backfield this year, so going to be rolling with Ceedee over 6.5 receptions. Let's move on to Jake Elliott. So I went with his kicking points. You could take just the field goal if you want, but this is looking pretty solid. Last time he played them, actually, this is the last 5. Let's go to head-to-head. Yeah, so he went for 11 and 10 in both of those games that they played last year. Field goals are going to be worth 3 for kicking points, then extra points are worth a point. So, I mean, if they're going to be putting up, like, what did we say it was at? So 47.5 over under with 8.5 point spread. He could end up doing this on extra points alone. I'm not saying that's a for sure thing, but he's probably going to get a field goal or 2 and a bunch of extra points unless they go for some 2-point conversions. But I just liked where this line was, so I decided to throw him into the mix here. There's not a whole lot to choose from for a single game slate. It looks great in the head-to-head. Like I said, 10 and 11, both matchups last year. And then if we look at his last 5, he'd cleared it in 4 out of his last 5, and then the one game he missed against Washington, he still went for 7. So I feel good about him getting us to at least 8 kicking points. Decided to throw that in, and then I'm going to go through all the daily grind stuff at the end, doing the approach a little bit different this time. But let's talk about George Pickens here. So let's see, this line on Outlier is at 49.5. We're getting it at 55.5. I think part of this is going to be like the shiny new object for Dak Prescott. He's got the best wide receiver 2 he's had since they've gotten CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee's never had some solid attention on the opposite side to open things up. And so George Pickens has an even better situation than CeeDee Lamb does because he's got CeeDee Lamb opposite him. So I think that he'll have a lot of one-on-one looks, and he is like a big play guy. So if we take a look at last season, all of 2024, he had a 60% hit rate, 9 out of 15 games. He cleared this line. So 55.5, I just think, again, the nature of the game that I project to be a shootout, not a shootout, but they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. I think they're going to be playing from behind quite a bit. And I don't think they're going to throw in the towel, early in this game. I think the Cowboys keep their starters in all game. Maybe we see Saquon exit in the fourth quarter if the game really gets out of hand, but I don't think that you bench your starters in the opening game to the season when you're a new head coach. I think you just fight until the end and try to use that time to develop some of the chemistry with your guys. I hope this is a close game. I hope I'm wrong and the Cowboys totally shock us and this is just like a high scoring shootout, because the Eagles are not going to have any trouble putting up points on the Cowboys with that defense. That's my prediction, but we'll have to see. This is a tough matchup. The Eagles have a really good defense, but still, I think volume, they're going to just have to pass the ball a ton to keep up in this game. So I like George Pickens to be able to take down a few receptions, and let's see, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so just on average, all of last year, and think about the quarterbacks and the offense he was a part of last year with the Steelers. So this is definitely a huge upgrade for him, but he still averaged 14.9 yards per reception. That's just kind of the player he is. So I think he's going to get a couple shots. I think he may even get in the end zone. I thought about taking his fantasy score. You could take a look at that if you prefer, but I decided just to go with the yards because 55.5 is still low. He could end up doing this in the first half. So yeah, a couple of catches and he could get us there. I think if he hits those 4 receptions that his line is set at, he's definitely going to clear these yards. So that was my reasoning behind that. So let's take a look at some of these. So I got Barkley pulled up here. A lot of these lines have already been bumped quite a bit. Yeah, like the rushing yards at 95.5. The DFS optimizer from Daily Grind doesn't necessarily like this. They have it at just about a 50-50 shot. It's just slightly favoring the under because we do have, like Pinnacle has this set at 96.5. We got some FanDuel 93.5. So with the optimizer, you're kind of just, this is like kind of right on the line there. So it doesn't really know how to call it. So it's just calling it 50-50. If you want to see some of the top plays, so the optimizer loves this combo here. the Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley rushing plus receiving touchdowns combo over 1.5. That does seem, that can't be right. That seems kind of ridiculous. The two of them combined going for 2 total. I could see that happening between Barkley and Hurts, especially how many times do you think they're going to be in the end zone or on the 5-yard line? They're going to be tush push, and it's either going to be Barkley or Hurts. So that does look great. I would definitely jump on that. A couple other pivots if you guys don't like the rushing yards. They do like his receiving yards over 13.5. They have that at a 50.69% odds to hit the over -121. That combo is at a 54.64% odds to hit the over -120. So jump on that. I feel comfortable with all of these, to be honest. I even think his fantasy score looks good at 18. But yeah, go with your gut. Let's see who we got next. We'll go to CeeDee Lamb real quick. All right. So we took the receptions. They don't like the receptions at 6.5. They don't believe the same narrative that I do, but I mean, they're just crunching numbers. This is just an odds-based optimizer. So it's just looking at the odds across all these platforms and what they're suggesting and letting you know based on the numbers whether this is like a reasonable pick or not. So go with your gut. If you don't want to take the receptions, again, the narrative kind of outweighs the odds here for me. I think that they're going to have to target Ceedee, and he's gone for 6 and back-to-back head-to-heads against them. So I think he's good for 7, but this has it favored to the under. So, you got to make your own decision there with your slip, but 52.95% odds to hit the under -131. Pinnacle has it at a -132. So yeah, a lot of juice actually favoring the under. So maybe you want to pivot to something else. I don't blame you if you do. Do they have any overs they like? They don't. They like unders for all of Ceedee. I guess, if that's the case, then if they do just completely shut him down, then Pickens should have a good game unless the Cowboys just crumble completely. So we'll see about that. All right. Do we have anything for Elliott on the optimizer? Let's take a look. Kicking points, they're favoring that to the under as well. 51.45% odds to hit the under -125. Some mixed emotions. You got some platforms favoring it to the over, some favoring it to the under. So, it's just a kicker prop. So if you don't want to take that, I don't blame you. I intentionally did not use the free play. Don't forget there's a free play for Dak Prescott. But I chose not to use that for the video because you guys are going to use that on whatever you want. I don't want to put that in my slip right now. So yeah, let's move on to the last play here for George Pickens, and then we'll get out of here. I'll show you guys a couple bonus plays at the end too. All right, let's see here. Receiving yards, yeah, they're not favoring it either. Let's see, it's because we got some platforms like BetMGM have it down at 53.5, so the optimizer is just noticing that and not recognizing this as a value. It's a 50-50 shot, pretty much 50.37% odds to hit the under -119. So yeah, this is just like a sharp betting tool, but I still like to look at the odds and see what we're looking like here. They do like his receptions over 4 at a 50.23% odds to hit the over -118. If he clears those receptions, though, that's 5 receptions, and we just said that he was averaging all season last long with a worse team. He was averaging 14.9 yards per reception, so if he gets 5, he's going to be well over that 55. He'll be up, in the mid, high 60s, low 70s. So go with your gut. It is a little bit of a value getting it at 4 flat there. It looks like everyone else has it at 4.5 if you did take the receptions over the receiving yards. And they do like the fantasy score, just slightly favored to the over there, 50.01. It's as close as you could get. You got a 0.01% favorability to the over. So let me just show you guys I'll just take this out and I'll just let you guys take a look at the optimizer if you guys want to jump on any of these. Because there's definitely some value for the Sunday slate when you're jumping on it this early. So they love this Jared Goff fantasy score over 16.5, 58.52% odds to hit the over. Yeah, that's solid. Goff has always been underrated in my opinion because any part of that Lions offense, they just put up points. I know Ben Johnson's gone, but regardless, they just continue to find a way to get their offense clicking. So Caleb Johnson, they've got this juice to the over. 8.5 longest rush. That's a little dicey to me because I just don't know the situation with him and Jaylen Warren yet. I think Warren's going to be the starter. It doesn't seem like Caleb Johnson has had as good of a training camp as to match the hype that he came into the league with. I think, but there are a lot of vacated, snaps there with Najee gone, and it is Arthur Smith, so they're going to be run heavy. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know if I like the longest rush. There might be other props for Caleb that might look intriguing, but the optimizer loves it. So if you want to go with the sharp bet, go for it. Let's see what else we got for overs. Drew Tranquil, over 6.5 tackles plus assists. They like that. 54.02% odds to the over minus 137. Wan'Dale Robinson over 4 receptions. That's also dicey. I don't know. Go with your gut. The optimizer loves it. Probably just because of the discount you're getting. It's at 4 flat. Everyone else has it at 4.5. So sometimes the optimizer will just catch that and call it a value. But I don't know. New quarterback. A lot of like just unknowns about the Giants. I'd rather wait and see. But the thing about it is, like, first week of the season, there's a lot of unknowns, but that can go in your favor as well. As far as, like, a lot of times the first couple of weeks of the NFL season, the odds makers also don't know what to expect. So sometimes you can really catch value. Take advantage of these first few weeks for sure. Jalen Waddle, I do like this one. 4.5 receptions over that. With all the drama going on with Tyreek, last year he ends up, the loss that ended their season, he ends up just like kind of throwing a fit and saying, that he wants out, he's done. And then he gets over it and says, like, no, he still wants to be a part of the team and stuff. And, like, they just announced, I think today or yesterday, that the team did not select him to be a captain of the team this year. And that's the first time since he's been in Miami so there's, like, long story short, there's drama. He's also dealing with, like, a little bit of a lingering oblique injury. And he had wrist surgery in the off season. So there's just a lot going on with Tyreek. So Waddle may end up getting a lot of attention from Tua and Hill. Unfortunately, their chemistry is on the rocks right now. So he might be targeting Jalen Waddle. Also, you have Jonnu Smith is gone. Darren Waller is not going to just come in and do what Jonnu Smith did, in my opinion. So Waddle has the chemistry. He's got the speed. And I think he could go for at least 5 receptions in that game. Do not take Derrick Henry's fantasy under 15. Okay, no, yeah, do not take that. I don't know. This is why you can't always trust the sharp betting of the analyzer. It's really good about putting stuff on your radar that might not be up that long. So that's kind of what the optimizer is all about, is just like sharp betting, crunching numbers, getting you the information quick. So you see these guys like Alex Monahan and those guys, like they use these types of tools and they just make bets quick because it's all about just trying to, get value as soon as you can and not really looking into the narrative as much. I'm more of a narrative guy myself, but I'll do a couple more and then we'll wrap up and get out of here. Daniel Jones over 15.5 fantasy score. Also a little dicey. He is the starter. We just don't know what Indianapolis is going to look like yet. If he surprises us, 15.5 is low. They've got that at a 53.66% odds to hit the over. We got other platforms like FanDuel up at 16.8 and BetMGM 17.2. So 15.5 is a bargain on Prizepicks. We'll do one more and then we'll call it. Let's see. Let's look for an exciting one. They like James Conner over 16 rush attempts. I love James Conner, Arizona Cardinals fan over here. So I do love James Conner. I don't know if he goes for 16 attempts though. I'd rather take something like his fantasy score or something other than the rush attempts at 16. It's a little high. Saquon's is set at 18. Zach Charbonnet, huge fan of him breaking out this year. Not just if Ken Walker gets hurt. Obviously, if Ken Walker gets hurt, then Charbonnet's going to have a killer season. But, Clint Kubiak is talking about getting Charbonnet more involved. And all through preseason, their offensive line looks like people are sleeping on it. Like everybody that has played running back throughout the preseason. Guys that aren't even going to be on the team have just been running all over teams in preseason. So I think that their O-line is going to be solid. And if he gets more attempts, I mean, 7 seems kind of high to me, but I am a fan of Charbonnet. So the optimizer likes it. 53.04% odds to hit the over, minus 133. If you guys want to check out the optimizer for yourself, you can use code JRUSSO, and they're going to give you 25% off any tool that they have. 25% off when you use code JRUSSO. I believe that's the one. You know, I meant earlier I said Russo. It's JRUSSO. It's all the information I think is on the ticker on the screen there. If you guys do want to support the channel, if you're looking at jumping on these platforms or these tools, it does help me out a lot. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things. Took the summer off, but I can't wait to cover all of these slates with you guys. Hope you've had a good summer. Looking forward to getting back to it. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, drop me a comment. And yeah, it goes a long way, helps me get in front of a larger audience. So I really appreciate it. Have a great night, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.